guys, welcome back to the Chill Corner, where anyone can come in and chat and have a good time and chill. I'm your host again, Dan Waterman, but now I'm also pleased to announce a new host that has been added to our Chill family. I'm pleased to announce the very first guest. You know him, you love him, and you probably see many of the videos. Mindless Gonzo, welcome back to the show and welcome to be an additional host.
Hello.
Now, pretty much my pitch this idea to you to be additional host pulls a thought going through your head.
It'll at least give me something to look forward to. It's been a while since I've done a podcast anyway.
Yeah, this pretty much is a new step and new journey for both of us. So hopefully pretty much you're willing to see where this journey will lead. Now, on to the main, well, we're not going to get into the big topics yet. We're going to ease into this. Like in the last episode, we're going to start off with what I know as the chill sandwich. We start with something chill, then we get into the topics we're going to be discussing, and we're going to end with something chill like before. So I call it the chill sandwich. But before all that, pretty much like I said, we're just getting all iron this stuff out. So like I said, Gonzo's going to be on this podcast for pretty much for the foreseeable future. We will hopefully have other guests to pretty much interview and talk and chat with all that, but mostly it's going to be just us shooting the breeze, talking about all kinds of stuff. So look forward to those future episodes. Just wanted to throw that out there. So now into the chill part. I'm gonna start with a very simple question, pretty much one anybody can ask. Let's say tomorrow, pretty much you have nothing to do, you got no work, pretty much got nothing to record, the day's all to yourself. To me, honestly, what is your ideal breakfast?
Anything quick and easy to fix, really. Although I do have a particular favorite breakfast food that I can normally make just about any other time, really. I really love those the little breakfast sandwiches that I just get from the freezer section. Basically, biscuit, sausage, egg, cheese. Come in like packs of like 4. They're good when you cook them just right.
Yeah, well, the cheese, yeah, I'll definitely pretty much be right there with you. But yeah, that is, and I think it's kind of a good breakfast to have. Like I said, it's quick and easy. Pretty much you can just sit and chillax while you take a bite of one, and I can agree with that. Okay, for me, if I had to choose, I have many, but if I have to narrow it down to one, it would probably have been my famous brown sugar pancakes that I used to make back in the day. In all honesty, nobody taught me this technique. I pretty much came with it accidentally. Not gonna lie, I was just making pancakes, like just making some pancake mix. So I know where I'm like, what would happen if I put brown sugar in it? Would it work? So I just dab in some sugar, sprinkled it in, fried it up, and my goodness, you did not need a maple syrup for that.
Come to think of it, though, at least you found out brown sugar works. However, pumpkin spice, not a good idea. I ended up coming across. I often go to various places that would offer free food to anybody who'd be willing to take it. And one place had pumpkin spice pancake mix, and I decided to give it a go because I ended up getting a brand new griddle, and I was like, okay, we'll give it a go. Mm-hmm. And it just didn't taste right for some odd reason. I even had traditional syrup on it. I had it and tried it out, everything, and it just didn't seem right. So regular pancakes is fine. Just don't go with the pumpkin spice one.
Don't even get me started. Like, I don't know if you ever tried it before. I had this pumpkin spice flavored popcorn, and my goodness, it tasted like I ate cardboard.
No.
Like I can eat like a pumpkin pie, like, but the best of them, like, it's good pie, but when you start adding that flavor to everything else, it kind of loses its luster.
Yeah, sometimes pumpkin spice shouldn't go into just about everything.
Jeez, man. Oh, the list of food I could probably say I tried with pumpkin spice flavor that I hated. Dude, we'd be here all day, and that will kind of defeat the purpose of this podcast, because then we'll be talking about food all the time. But long story short, we had both had our ideal breakfast like descriptions, but we'll eat, found our time off, and I would say pretty much was good on both ends. Now we're going to be getting into the nitty-gritty of the first topic of the day. We're going to be covering the Discord age verification situation. Now, to those who probably, I told you we're going to be wearing our tip for hats for this one. For those who probably don't know or unaware of it, Discord pretty much has been having a age verification situation where pretty much in order to use its functions, especially like when going on different channels, posting things and stuff like that, you're going to be needing to verify your age via ID or facial recognition. And with this discussion, we're just going to be like kind of be drilling into this and how this could not potentially be a bad idea waiting to happen. Now, as soon as I heard you sigh, I knew you got your grievances to air out. So for the first time, Gazo, the floor is yours. You're gonna be handling this. You're gonna probably get your stuff out, but I'll be adding my points here and there. So go ahead and let it out.
From what I understood, the whole thing, it's a whole fucking reeking of oh god, where do I even fucking start? Okay, we'll start from the easy parts and then we'll go into the crazy shit.
Yeah, we got it.
Alrighty. We've dealt with what Discord was planning to use, which is a security firm named Persona, not related to the Persona games, right?
Yep.
VR Chat has used this program some time ago. I can't remember exactly which update it was, but it was definitely within the past year or so. And the moment that ended up being rolled out, I basically went and dealt with it myself. I was like, fine, if it will mean we get to be able to host 18 plus whenever the friends that we hang out with reach that and get verified as well. And what's even bad about that is that it was only available for VRC Plus subscribers on a yearly subscription anyway.
Yeah.
However, for Persona, you basically had to give them a valid ID. I basically gave them a state ID that I've had because I don't have a driver's license. I never learned to drive, so I basically got a state ID, and that's pretty much free. And I was basically enjoying that little aspect of, finally I could just I could hopefully be able to join off of instances where I don't have to put up with goddamn annoying ass kids and brushy avatars. I ended up hearing that sooner or later Persona somehow suffered a security leak. I tried to find information about that, but I couldn't find it anywhere again.
Oh jeez.
I thought it was memory holed into my fucking Swiss cheese Joe Biden-esque brain. But apparently I ended up hearing that rumor going around a bit. So there is already a strike on, the age verification that Discord is going to use, which was indeed Persona.
Jeez.
And that's just the entry-level stuff. The other entry-level stuff is because, oh god, this one's going to go super, super crazy because I dove into the crazy, crazy fucking pits of various social media bubbles, all involving politics, which I would recommend you guys avoid because it's mental torture.
It always leads back to politics every single time.
It's a pain, but sadly, politics does have involvement in the way things are. It is so deep-seated in just about everything. It is insane.
Unfortunately.
Now, I'd say I drove into the whole Persona things, and I am aware about all the aspects of some very unsavory people. Not going to dive into that too much, but I do know that Persona is connected to some other security firm as led by a very prominent I don't know how to classify him. He's not a philanthropist. He's kind of a fucking investor, businessman, some sort of manager or some shit like that. But he goes by the name of Peter Thiel, which people have already hated, considering the deep bullshit politics that I don't want to go into too much.
Of course.
But to make a long story short, people do not like Peter Thiel. And what he plans to do with the information. I ended up hearing that our information might be used against us. And either that or it's going to be somehow leaked again via the same thing that happened once everybody started going through Persona to verify for VRC age restrictions and stuff. So people have been bitching about that. They bitched about Discord to the point to where Nitro subscriptions ended up getting canceled. I mean, why would you want to give money to a company that's about to use a very shady program connected to a very shady as fuck guy, or have it leaked out and be sold anywhere else and wind up finding out that for some odd reason someone decided to register a credit card in your name, or decided to find out your email and phone number and decided to give them to some assholes in Bombay, India, who's going to call you trying to get a hold of your fucking SSI check, and hopefully to get all that in the form of a bunch of reloadable fucking Steam gift cards or some shit like that.
Yeah. Basically, it's basically the long short of it. Like, well, we're gonna continue with it, but the long short of it, folks, is basically the age verification thing. While in their head, it could be a potential good security thing in their head, but in physical reality, that's like giving somebody, hey, this is the keys to my house. I trust you not to use it to rob me. That's literally what it's saying right now.
Which is essentially it.
But yeah, like when everything's, like I said, I understand the point where they're trying to make, especially with that kind of discussion they had about potentially trying to crack down on potential not pretty much savory people pretty much misusing their app for nefarious purposes. I can get that. I get why they want to do that. But you should also look at it also by the other perspective of people who are using it productively, like almost like supportively, like creatively, as it should. What you're doing is you're trying to punish the bad guys, but you're also punishing the good guys too with this situation. Because what you're going to do is going to start putting targets on each and everyone's back the moment they release their face or they release their ID, because that's pretty much giving any potential hacker an open season to just hold whole information from your social, like I said, from social security to your checks to your ID to your social security number. They can pretty much have access to everything about you faster. You can say, LifeLock.
Yeah, you better be on that LifeLock subscription there, buddy. And who can afford that in this economy? Like, yikes.
And yeah, given how everything is like cost nowadays, yeah, that's a especially if you want to give your ID out, it's a necessity to get LifeLock, some kind of protection against your identification. Heck, get VPNs as well, just for the added security as well.
Well, probably gonna have to start using a VPN every now and then.
Mm.
I mean, I've got a subscription to I think it's Shark VPN or something like that. That I've ended up buying like a couple of years ago, and all I've been using it is just so I could torrent some movies.
Well, that's kind of,
But I probably should start using it more, so that way bullshit like this doesn't try to get my ass.
yeah, most definitely.
Ugh.
But I don't know how much you learn from now, because I just learned from a YouTuber who's pretty much just like his job is to relay some news. Evidently from Discord, after hearing all that backlash, they kept complaining. They said they're gonna try to find ways to have you verify without using your face and ID.
They basically kicked the can down the road.
Yes,
And
because
hope to
you
God, maybe we can all forget about it. They're probably using Persona again, because I don't know of. I am unaware of the market of security firms that check your ID and make sure you are as you are and not trying to bullshit anybody for nefarious reasons. Sadly, Persona is the only one that I am aware of, because, well, that's basically the program that I ended up having to go through for the BRC Plus thing.
Yeah, given the fact that Discord had to do it, my guess is there are not a lot of companies that advertise that kind of work to pretty much to have that kind of use for age verification and stuff like that. But in terms of other forms of verification that they said they're going to think about implementing, because one thing they decide to do, instead of having the implementation of the verification next month, they moved it to the second half of the year, pretty much later on in the year.
That's what I mean by kicking the can down the road a little bit.
That's kind of a good thing, but one thing they're going to think about implementing, which is just as bad, is not always like your face and ID. It's going to be putting down your credit card information as a form of verification.
Well, hope they accept a debit card then.
I think it's just compared to the ID thing. I also kind of think it's kind of just as bad, because given how many times Discord's been breached for security purposes and people's identity's been stolen because of that. Dude, that's you're really not giving yourself a good case having this kind of a verification situation to be this dire. You should probably have some more thought and probably more research into the company that you think that you're going to want to use for this, that's more secure. Well, in other retrospect, it could be like I said, that may not be a lot of agencies and pretty much companies that do this kind of thing. So using Persona multiple times might be the only one out there. But anything, just take what I suspect with a grain of salt, because like I said, there could be others, but they're probably not well known and stuff like that. So that's why they're not being scouted out and stuff like that.
Maybe they might be. Who knows? I kind of wish they were. And hopefully they're not connected to some very shady fucker.
Yeah, we can only cross our fingers for that one. But yeah, this age verification, like I said, what the principle is, well, I can understand the premise of what they're trying to do. The execution, they missed the mark by yards. And the target is literally a foot away.
A stormtrooper shooting with this whole bullshit.
Exactly how it is. And not just that, not only with VR Chat Plus and Discord, Roblox was doing the same thing too, for trying to crack down on very unsavory individuals. But they managed to get around that too. Which is pretty much the point we're trying to drive with this discussion. It's I understand the premise of what you're trying to do, but the way you're going about it, it's not the greatest option.
to start teaching people about how to be a little bit more smarter online, so that way they can take care of themselves instead of letting some shady fucker do it for you, and possibly get you in even worse problems.
Dude, that actually kind of hits right there on the nail on the head, specifically like with kids, like everything. Like that's what gets me. If they're trying to protect kids from your like app or stuff like that from being involved with adults and stuff, the question is, what are the parents doing with those kids that are accessing those sites?
It makes me worried too, because it's starting to feel very, very much like some of the parenting is not being done properly.
Exactly, and that's actually what is happening. Pretty much parents are at this age, this day and age, are either too busy or too tired to look after their kids, and after they discovered YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Discord, all that stuff, pretty much gets the kid's attention. They figure, put the kid in front of the TV, put the kid in front of the phone, and let them have at it, and just let them be their babysitter while the parents do what they want. And that's why everything's going up in smoke right now. Because if parents were acting like they should have been taking better observation of their kids and pretty much what they were supposed to be doing. Like, especially like, let's say with YouTube and like TikTok and stuff like that. What you should do, if you're really gonna want to put your kid in front of that, is to have it strictly your advertisement, like a parent control thing, like a very strict one, like from 5 to 10 or something like that. If they really feel like they want to do something like this, you limit it to just strictly your parents' advisement, like kid stuff, strictly kids stuff, to have them introduce that. You do not let them explore on their own, because once they get into the adult stuff, then that's going to be something difficult to explain and maintain, especially growing up.
Yeah, like I remember it because like I'm a fucking old fart, like you are. I wonder if you remember this as well. We pretty much grew up with parents hounding about safety and all that stuff with parental guides and kid sites and all that stuff.
Almost over, yeah. I grew up around that.
Yeah, like those old ass like fucking specialty sites made by the major cartoon channels on cable and stuff. Oh god, but yeah, those were safe havens that sadly it's sad that some of them went away. We could really use something like that.
Yeah, and that's also,
and also from that same era too, the whole education about how to use parental controls that are available and still are available, strangely enough. Even though those kid sites went away, there's still parental controls that you could put in with the many devices. So,
but the problem is they're not being implemented. They're not being used. It's like it's there, but they don't want to use it at that point. And that's what kind of gets me a little bit, because like I'm not a parent. I grew like I said, I grew up with like parental stuff like that, where they pretty much controlled what you watch, what you couldn't watch, and what you couldn't go to. While many other kids thought, oh, that's being restrictive, or that be like, you're not letting me do what I want to do. It's like, that's not the point of the parental control. The parental control is for sake of safety, because as a parent, they know what the world is like and what can happen to a kid like you if you experience it unprepared. This world will chew you up and spit you out before you can learn how to tie your shoes. That's how real this world is. And what the parenting controls is, what the parent control is trying to ease you into growing up, so you can learn what's right, what's wrong, what you should do and what you shouldn't do, especially in this day and age. But the moment, like I said, when the moment where social media became that big hit thing, all that parental guidance went out the window. And That's what aggravates me the most about it. Just because something easy, convenient is there doesn't mean you should all just jump in and use it.
Good Lord, now I gotta deal with all this shit.
Like,
me and the rest of the world have to cater because the kids are having free reign with nobody to stop them.
Like, exactly, because I really have a perfect example. My wife's two cousins. They're pretty much they're pretty much, they're not even teenagers yet. They're pretty much like kids, like preteens. The eldest, the niece, I guess, the little girl, she uses profanity even in front of her parent, and the parent uses profanity in front of her. And she uses YouTube, like YouTube and shorts and stuff like that, and has full reign to look at other things that she probably shouldn't be looking at her age. And that's what scares me the most. Because, like I said before, like at this day and age, parents are either getting too tired or too busy or too lazy to look after their kids properly and decide to use social media as their babysitter, and they wonder why their kids turn out the way they do.
Now I got some very strange, horny people, some of them way too young to even experience it, asking my little boy Noah, saying all sorts of weird things, and I ended up having to deal with Noah asking me, "Hey Dad, what is this?"
Oh,
Which leads to a whole awkward situation altogether. Yikes.
Yeah, dude, I'm like back in the day when I learned about that stuff. I waited until I was old enough to learn about it. My dad, on the other hand, he wasn't that kind of a nurturing type. He pretty much told me straight up before I can even understand what's what. But I pretty much dismissed it and pretty much waited till I was old enough to learn about it properly. But yeah, but I had at least decent parenting on that front. That's what should have been carried over the years, but as the years went by, that knowledge, that drive to guide your child as you should, begin to dwindle. And now, pretty much, parents are not even raising their kids. Social media is their parent now.
And good Lord, what a crazy, crazy thing to allow to raise your kids.
And of course, probably we're gonna.
It's like the worst version of having a crazy person with voices in their head babysitting.
Yeah, that's literally what it is. Pretty much you sit a kid down in front of a sanatorium, expecting to behave and have a good time and learn something. I'm like, and like I said, we're probably gonna get a little bit of flack for this, but at this point, I don't care. This is our take, and pretty much we stand by this. Parents, you should learn to stop being not parents and just be parents. I can understand about work, I can understand about stress, and I can understand about being tired. I get that. I've seen it, and I've endured it. I'm not a parent, but I experienced those things. But when you have a child, when you have children, all those excuses go out the window. Like, no matter what you're doing, no matter what you did before you had kids, when you have kids, they take priority. Not just for their like physical needs like food, clothing, and stuff like that, or for their heads. They also need emotional guiding, spiritual guiding, all the other things that you probably should have checked off the list when you decide to have a kid. They take so much priority because what they become when they grow up falls on the decisions you make. And if you choose to make social media as their parent, whatever happens to them, that's on you. Dude, I am so passionate about this because like I said, I'm not a parent, but I've seen what social media can do to kids firsthand. I've seen it, and I'm like, dude, where are the parents with the parent energy that they should be having? Oh jeez, look, I might have gone off the rails for that one, but yeah, like I said, that is a passionate topic that I just need to get out there, man. I just need to get out there.
I don't blame you one bit.
But yeah, to summarize with the Discord thing, they definitely need to step their game up. They definitely need to take what they decide to do into heavy consideration before they go through with it. Because if this thing goes through, especially with their forms of verification, even with credit card information, you're willing to risk your identity, your life, for the sake of convenience. And pretty much, I'll probably pose this question to those listening: are you willing to risk everything that you worked hard for to earn, to reach, on the sake of convenience? Me, I would not. If this thing is implemented, I'm not going to use my face. I'm not going to use my ID or my credit card or whatever. Because in this day and age, even the slightest slip up and everything you earned would have been gone in an instant. That's how fragile this world can be. Dude, man, this tinfoil hat is tightening around my head, boyo. There you go. Also, what's your summary take on this topic?
There are better ways to try to keep kids safe on the internet. This ain't one of them. And I'm already hearing that it's pretty much a Trojan horse to a whole lot of bad ideas.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And it's already, and there's plenty of connections to pretty bad things that is just much scarier.
Yeah.
You're trying to protect your kid. This ain't it. This ain't
it. It is not. You're just giving the kid a paper on their shirt and get us a bulletproof vest. Like, the reason why we're so passionate about it is because we've learned and seen what kind of damage stuff like this can do to someone, to their family, to kids and stuff like that. That's why we're so passionate about this. Because, bro, this a day and age, in my words, in my take, it probably might be the most apathetic age of parenting I've ever seen in my entire life. Like where parents don't even give their kids a time of day. They just give them a phone and just let them have at it. Like, oh jeez. Okay, I'm gonna move on to another topic because if I keep going, I'm just gonna go on that same tangent. Look, we're gonna cut that topic right there because if we kept going, we'll probably been there all day. Long story short, we don't. Yeah, long story short, we don't approve of Discord verification method, and also we don't approve of parents not parenting. Matter of fact, that's a title for this episode. Parents not parenting. That's it. That pretty much that sells us up, man. I'm definitely gonna put that on when I finish this up. But let's see. I think we have enough time for one more topic before we get into the chills. So
That's fair. I was hoping to take things easy considering I was sick earlier today. Probably either some chemical free combination didn't agree with me or something. Because, like, ugh.
Oh, that's fair. That is totally fair. So pretty much we're gonna go into the chills segment. Pretty much a little bit something to cool ourselves off and cool you off, and pretty much get ourselves a little bit back into that mellow flow. Let's see. Okay, I think I got one. I don't know if you know about the game Helldivers 2, right?
I've seen the memes. I haven't played it myself, but I know about through the memes. I know, Stoichium. I think one other person also plays it. Think can't remember all the people in my circles of friends who played it, but I know about it enough.
Yeah, but I also dabbled from time to time. I'm about to tell you and others here about a very special story that kind of got me hooked on Helldivers 2 for a bit.
Oh?
Like, well, my friend Stoichium, like, he was pretty much introducing me to pretty much everything since I never really played it before. He was guiding me through everything, like how to fight termitids to automatons and stuff like that. There was one mission that we were doing where pretty much we were just on this planet killing termitids, pretty much just taking out nests and everything and collecting materials and everything. We were just about to extract. Like, pretty much we got everything done and we were about to wait for the Falcon to come take us away. As we were in the middle of talking, I'm like, because we were discussing things like our armor and everything, because certain armor you wear has some perks and everything, like makes you more damage resistant, you can pretty much hold more items and stuff like that. He was guiding me about the armor I was wearing. It was only explosion resistant. But here's the ironic part. As soon as he finished telling me that, he respawned on me and killed me instantly. The moment he finished saying, "Oh yeah, that's explosive resistance," bong, he immediately flattened me like a pancake. But the funny thing is, he didn't even notice until I told him. I'm like, "Stoichium, I think you crushed me." He's like, "What?"
You bitch ass motherfucker! You doomed me. Oh God.
I'm like, wow. If that was not the most iconic thing that happened. And I'm like,
Oh,
he's dying laughing, I'm dying laughing. I'm like, this by far
I wonder if it's as hard of a laugh as he ever had. Like, I still have the clips up on my channel where we basically were in trash compactor, right?
Yeah.
And pretty much my boy Corporal Noah decided, hey Stoic, let's try to synchronize our dances, considering we have the same dance animations. And like I forgot what it was. I think it was a big enough item. Anyways, one was just lobbed right towards them, but for some odd reason it basically nails Noah on his count of one to try and activate their dance motions in sync. And basically, Noah died. Stoic was still in the play for a bit, but was laughing so fucking hard. I basically heard him through his own recording, and I heard a little bit through mine. Like, holy fuck. I wonder if he laughed just as hard at that little gameplay of yours as he did in that moment in fucking Trash Compactor.
Dude, it was like pretty much we could not. We were literally in the middle of trying to extract it. I could not see straight because I was laughing so hard there was tears in my eyes. I couldn't even see straight how I was laughing so hard. And still, he was laughing so hard he started cutting out throughout the call because I'm trying to talk to him and he's freaking giggling like a freaking like a hyena, man.
I won't blame him though if that's the case.
Dude, that was like the most iconic moment that made the solidified it that I enjoyed playing Helldivers 2 with him. And boy, I gotta talk to him, like, get another session in, man. I gotta do it at some point. But yeah, that was a good laugh. All right, so let's see, for a good saying for today, moral of the story, lesson of the day. Lesson of the day: safety should never be sacrificed for conveniency. Human safety should come first above all else. So stay safe, guys. Stay safe out there for you and for your own. So, Gonzo, thank you again for hopping in for this episode of the podcast. Hopefully see you on the next one.
And hopefully it isn't delayed or like had to be canceled because of some other bullshit. Because the last time we tried to show, I had a tornado event. And today, I'm lucky that my little medical episode today wasn't trying to interfere with this.
Well, so I'm happy for which I'm happy for. So thankfully enough, we'll definitely have our next episode airing the week after next. So next week it will pretty much be clear for us to do what we need to do, and then next week we must have another episode ready. So we're gonna.
Alrighty then, sounds good.
Yep. So we're gonna close out here, folks. Dan Waterman saying stay hydrated, stay cool, stay healthy, and stay friendly. You take care of yourselves out there, and we'll see you next time. Adios.
Mm-hmm.